Thank you for joining me today. So as I let everything get loaded up, this is to let you know that I'm actually recording this with two different devices. So I'm gonna have a physical backup, as the last two lives that I've done this past week have been a little bit of a challenge, because I'm gonna find if I can get this here. There we go. Perfect. It was a little bit of a challenge, sorry, because I lost my, it crashed. So even though it was looking like I was still recording on my one end, it didn't. So what did get uploaded was partial of the lives that I have done this past week. So today I'm gonna get smart and have a secondary. So if I'm looking in a different direction, it's because I'm looking at the other camera. So let's get started. Thank you for joining me. My name is Julianne Duffy. We are on our weekly energy update. So we're going to look at the charts. So the charts are a system I'm designing, which is a combination of Vedic and Western astrology charts. We'll look at human design, astrocartology, numerology, and combine all of those to see where the highest amount of energy, where things seem to be leading. So it's a little bit different because we're looking at more of a holistic approach. So we're going to first look at the charts for the overall week, then we'll dive into each day individually, and I will pull oracle cards to verify the energy after we do each of those. And if you do stick around and have any questions, I will be open to taking questions at the end if you are around. So let's dive right into it. So we are looking at this week. So we'll start from today, the 14th of September, what the energy is for the rest of the day, and then jump into the week going till I've got till the 21st, next Sunday. So let's start. This week overall is we're building energy towards the September 21st eclipse. This is going to be some intense energy that is coming. It's a karmic turning point with relationships, responsibilities, spiritual renewal. So that's going to be the themes overall for the week. Inspiration comes earlier. Midweek, we're going to feel like there's a lot of tension. And then there's going to be this deep reset by the weekend going in after the eclipse into the new week. So that kind of shows you how the flow of the energy is going. And so really, we're looking at the deep reset, revelations, karmic turning point, and really kind of laying low by the time we get through the eclipse, and then we can start to pick up going into the new week. Oh, hello, Ali. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. If you're here, please put in the comments. I'd love to find out where you're watching from. I'd love to find out. And let's get into it. So the overall energy, as I mentioned, for this week coming up, so till the 21st, next Sunday, is the deep reset, revelations, karmic turning point, and a lot of kind of by the weekend, kind of laying low and keeping ourselves out of disaster's way is really how I feel that this looks. But let's get into it. Let's pull a card with the overall message from the guides to match kind of where should we put our energy for this week, or what should we be concerned about from the guide specifically. Courage. Interesting. So I'm pulling from my oracle cards here, and I've got two cameras in case you were wondering and just joined me, because I am making sure I have a backup in case this live does not record properly. But we've got the courage card, and it's upright. So this recommendation for this week is that it's going to take some courage. It's going to take standing grounded. You can see he's grounding. He's standing strong. Seems like there's a lot of darkness, right? Because we've got the dark woods in the back, but there is that light, right? They've got that little moment of light there. So it's going to take some courage and standing in our power as we go through this cycle. That's going to assist. So be prepared to be courageous this week, and whatever way that means. Maybe it's being courageous in it's okay, you can handle whatever you're seeing. Courageous in doing something you're being pushed out of your comfort zone, whatever that might look like for you. But this is going to be the underlying guidance, is bringing courage in for this week. So let's dive into each day and find out how that all ties together. So we're going to look at we can look at for the rest of today. The rest of the today, we've got our collective moon in Gemini and approaching Jupiter. So it's very much about curiosity, communications, around relationships, responsibility, spiritual renewal. Inspirations are going to come earlier in the day. So if it's earlier in your day, this will be the time that'll happen. And it's going to feel maybe scattered and lively like we're having right now. So the day is scattered energy. Ideal flows for emotions are edgy, and it's good for journaling, brainstorming, but not pushing things, so not forcing things. Today's not a good day for that. And today's good for creative projects, but avoid the drama. That is the overall energy for today. Let's pull a card to see what other, if the guys want to give us any more clarity on this and our projects and how to avoid the drama of the rest of the day, the Sunday. We've got Ascended Masters reversed. So I'm going to take this that it's interesting because like the energy is flowing towards the ground, right? So we're in the reversion. When it's going this way, we're connecting up into the heavens. We're doing this way. This is more that grounded feeling. So I feel like for us to get through today, it is very much about being grounded. So not letting yourselves get pulled into drama, energies that are going to like throw us out of balance. I feel like it's very much the idea that we're grounding, connecting, the energies are supporting us. So we've got that strong base, whether we're going to do the creative energies are going to be inspired, which is really what it will inspire, is more of that creative grounding energy and avoiding any of that drama or out in the air type of distractions, right? The drama. Okay, let's jump on to the 15th. So that's Monday, that's tomorrow. So we've got, with the charts, we've got Moon in Gemini, and we've got Ardra and Jupiter influences. So it's a good day for learning. So Monday's a fantastic day for creativity, more in that. So if you're inspired today with the energies, tomorrow it'll inspire more of that. And then we have, let's go back here. There is some heaviness. So the Saturn-Neptune brings heaviness, which can be with work and authority figures. So I wouldn't necessarily think it's a good day to have a really direct conversation with any management if you don't need to, because that might be really heavy for that. So there's a lot of creative potential, lots of inspirations running around on Monday, but workplace and authority energy, kind of heavy, kind of a heavy day. So best to really put your energy into personal projects and, you know, stay out of, that'd be again a little bit more of that drama energy that is for this Sunday, but which is for today. So kind of that same overview. So again, it's very strong for the creative projects and breakthroughs as it is today. So Monday continuing with that, and just not good for workplace battles. So if there's somebody poking you with the stick or, you know, causing some stuff, maybe it's even a customer, find a way to ground, go back into your creative space. It's not worth that kind of battle, for sure. Not tomorrow. It's not going to be positive. So let's find the energy message to align with Monday, September 15th. So what do our guides recommend on the 15th here? So we are going through new beginnings reversed. So that means that we're changing. The new beginnings would be, oh, there's something brand new here. Well, we're not quite there yet, which does overlap with the wave of the energy as we continue through this fall, right? So we're really having that the old is new is coming, but we're not quite there. So I feel like with this reversed in this cycle, we're not quite at that new beginning, right? We're kind of still stuck in that old end. You can see that, you know, we're here. It's not horrible, but the light is not above us per se. Right here, we're above us. It's right here, ready for us to touch. But it's just that reminder that we're still going through this energy and that the new energy is coming, but it's not quite there. So we're finishing this cycle. So it might feel, especially with the workplace drama and stuff, that part of the learning of not getting drawn into the battle or the drama, especially Monday, is going to be a little bit of that have we learned and closed that ending of getting drawn into those battles, right? Are we able to level up that it's not worth our energy and take that advice to move past that? And, it's not the new beginning, not the time to like start the new thing. We're finishing it, and it's not time to start a new battle. Okay, let's jump to Wednesday, the 16th of September. So going back to the chart reading first. So we've got Moon conjunct Jupiter, and then the Parvosa. Oh my goodness, I apologize because I did not say that very clear. And the Parsva Nakshatra. If you followed me before, I do apologize. English is barely a language I speak, and it's my only language. So anything else, I do apologize from that. And so looking at September 16th, that's Tuesday, we've got renewal, optimism, expansion, and one of the most positive days of this month, for the month of September. So the 16th is really good, feel good day, very good for expansion, perfect day to take some creative leaps. So creative through the beginning of this week has been very supportive. So it's really that day to take that creative leap. And planning and saying yes to opportunity. So something might come up. Wednesday is the day to say yes and jump into that opportunity. So we've got optimism and clarity when we come midweek, which is wonderful. Say yes to big ideas. And it's kind of like that excitement energy is really what we're looking at on Wednesday. So a lot of creativity, a lot of positiveness. If we made it through that little bit of that drama and avoiding it, we're very much inspired. We've got a lot of energy supporting that, and that big idea might come up and be like, right, perfect to say yes. So with that, let's pull the energy to back up Tuesday. So Tuesday's the 16th. So what would the guides like us to know to give us some extra clarity on the Tuesday? Intentions back and forth, and we've got reversed. So this, again, we're reverse the message. So back and forth would be really like you're not getting anywhere. You're kind of going back, forth. We're getting past that. So we're getting past these limitations going into that next part of this phase. So that optimism and clarity is definitely coming through. We're no longer going back and forth, kind of stuck on that seesaw. We're not really going anywhere. We have now got that clarity and we're heading forward. So it's really, really great. And it's verifying that it's a great day for optimism and clarity. You're no longer going back and forth. So if you've been struggling with, should I do this or should I do that? It's like the Wednesday energy will definitely bring that up. And one thing I'd like to mention also is like with these energies, the collective, you may feel them a couple days before, you may feel them a couple days after, or in a longer period of time, just based on your own personal charts. So if you would like and are interested in your own personal reading and get your soul map where we look at the charts specifically, again, your Vedic, your Western, your astrocartology, where you're located, your numerology, and your human design, I can give you some really good insights, answer some questions, and then you also can get an oracle card reading, which will give you some background energy. If that's of interest, go to my website. It's linked in the comments, and it's under the soul map bookings for your own personal booking. Okay, let's jump on to Wednesday. So yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday, we're getting into midway of the day. It's a yes to big deals. So when we get to Wednesday, we've got nurturing, spiritual, home-centered energy. Really great day for looking at the home. But we have Mercury opposite Saturn, because our moon is in Cancer when we come into Wednesday. And then we've got Mercury opposite Saturn, so it's about focus and discipline. And definitely the energies of our spirituality, nurturing, caring for others, home-based energy is going to really be emphasized. And it's a grounding day, so it's a great day to get out, get grounding, planning, organizing, following your spiritual journey, that type of things. And it's a really good day as well for deep reflection. So it does bring up the journaling. So if there's something that you're really reflecting on, this is a perfect day. And of course, perfect for your home. If you're looking for anything to do with the home, it's going to be very supported on Wednesday. So just Wednesday's a good day. You know, we've had a lot of good energy. We're creative projects from today till like Tuesday, and then when we get to Wednesday, we're really in that home focused area. You know, it's pretty nice and flowy overall, right? Overall, as we're until we get to like midweek. So the energy to support us, or guidance to support us on Wednesday: joyous fun. Oh, how appropriate is that? So just that reminder that, you know, joyous fun, especially because the home energy, family energy is coming up. This, I think, is just to remind us to take that moment and, you know, have some fun with our family, their lives. You know, is there something we can do to make it a little more harmonious, a little more joyous, as that energy is supported, especially around the home. And, you know, like I said, when we get into Wednesday, it is deep reflections, and this might really help when you're reflecting, going through some like great examples, you know, going out for ice cream, or going, if you have a fair, going to the fair. I don't know if it happens where you are in the middle of the week, but if it does, wonderful, right? But it's just that bringing that fun energy will assist as we go through halfway through the week on Wednesday, which is the 17th. So now we're going to continue going through the week as we get closer to the eclipse of next weekend. So we're jumping into Thursday, September the 18th, and let's look at the charts here. What we've got is the moon is still in Cancer, and we've got, however, we get Mercury opposite Neptune when we get into Thursday. So collectively, there's a lot more intensity and persuasion in the collectiveness. And because of the Mercury opposite Neptune, imagination is strong, clarity is weaker. So that's just something to be aware of. Like, if we're really imagining things on a whole, it could be in our own personal lives, it could be in a bigger, there's going to be a lot of illusions, because our clarity may not be that good as we're coming in closer to the eclipse. So keep that in mind. So it's a good day. Thursday's a good day. Again, going back to creativity, following your intuition, not good for practical agreements. And so the strongest is like writing and inner visions. Those are really strongly supported Thursday. Not a good day for business deals. Not a good day to do that type of stuff. Perfect. And thank you everybody for joining me. Thank you Iron Pixel Studio and AI Knowledge. Thank you. And let's pull the energy. So really good intuitive creative day as we come into on Thursday. Avoid anything really businessy. That's kind of for the rest of the week. I wouldn't, if you do have anything like that, like, it's not a very good week, just because today and Monday, we've got like workplace battles and drama. And then Thursday onwards is just not really conducive with the eclipse coming. But as we go for Thursday, what is the message from our guides? We have transformation. So we're going through this transformation, and that's that reminder that energy is completely supported, especially if we're doing that inner work as we go through this week, because it's very much about that creative. It keeps coming up about the inner work. We are in this transformation stage. So to keep it in mind that we are not at that end result yet, but we are still going through this process. And I don't think the transformation ever actually ends. I think it's always lifelong, but I think this is like a transformation for us as a whole is becoming more apparent, and we see that in the energy, especially with the imagination strong and clarity weak. I feel like that's kind of like part of this transformation. Are we going to be able to see through the imagination or illusions a little bit stronger as a collective, right? Be interesting to see. Okay, let's jump to Friday. So we're Friday, September 19th. We've got Moon in Leo and Mahara Nasatra, that's a Vedic one, a Vedic name. But what we really have on the collective is relationships are emphasized. So Friday is a really great day for your relationships, but we have the dark moon. So don't start new things. So again, it's like the contracts, like the business. It's not a day to be like, I'm just going to write a book. That's not going to be your day. If you've got this creative inspiration, be starting it earlier, you know, like putting out that energy, because we're as per the card that we weren't quite in the new beginnings, we're finishing up those old lessons, those old clearings. So keeping it in mind, it's not a bad idea if you've started to have that idea to keep tracking and writing down any creative inspirations, but not the day to be like, this is the day I'm going to start writing it. That's just not going to be the best for starting new things on Friday. So we have a lot of creative romantic energy, so you might be might get those inspirations for something like that: writing, drawing, art, cooking, whatever inspires you, knitting, sewing, whatever that is, right? So it's all highly, you know, it's all highly supported, just not really good to start a brand new project, right? And energy flows are not stable on Friday. It's perfect for relationship reflection or planning, but not new ventures. So looking at things, planning for the future, how you want to build what you want to do in the new thing you want to create, but not the day to necessarily make that actual effort. And so strongest relationships and reflection are strongly supported, but not new commitments on Friday. So if somebody's asking you, say, ask me on Monday. That would be my recommendation. Don't ask me again till Monday, Tuesday. Once we get to Sunday, I'll know for the next week, so I can give you better days next week for them to ask you that. Okay, what is our message to assist us with our Friday energy? Cycle. So we're going through this cycle and we're in this part of increase. So I think that this is very, very good to kind of we pulled this a while back where we were in this decrease cycle. So we're seeing like a lack. So I feel like this is now this meaning as we go through that we're not into the new contracts yet. We're not doing the new, but that increase cycle is starting to come upon us, right? We're like at that bottom pit of the cycle. So now it can only get better from here. We're kind of in that phase. And so that's just that reminder as we come into Friday that reflection on where we want to go, relationships, that type of stuff is highly supportive. So do put your energy into that, and don't commit to anything, but do put that energy, because the increase cycle is about to start. So you want to get yourself with those planted seeds. So as that cycle hits, you've already put all your seeds in place to go forward the most abundant, prosperous, aligned way you can. Okay, so let's get to Saturday. So we're on the 20th, Saturday. Moon is still in Leo. And we got the Purva, I don't even know how to say that. Phallugni. So these are the important alignments between the Vedic and the Western. So collectively, we've got the Venus square Uranus and Mars quincunx Saturn. So obstacles, accidents, relationship stress, okay? So it's a red flag day for pushing. So Saturday is not a day to push anything. It's better to lean into your spiritual work, that same kind of theme. Meditation, journaling, again, coming up. Stay low key. So I know for myself, we're planning some more trips. We've got to make our way back through to Canada, and this is like right in the middle of us traveling, and then it's like, no, don't travel, or don't travel very long, because it's very much a red flag day. So it'll be interesting to see what energies show up and how things manifest out on Saturday. So as a high warning, that energy might affect you. Maybe the Friday night might affect you a little bit more on Sunday. Again, if you want your own personalized charts to see how they align, go to my website, hit me up. I can definitely tell you. However, best practice would be don't plan anything strenuous, long distance, like keep it low, keep your energy low. Find that inner work. That's going to be your best way through. Avoid pushing, meditate, stay inward. I could have read my own notes. Okay, let's pick the card for Saturday. So our message for Saturday and the energy from our guides. Creative endeavor. Constantly coming up. So again, even though this wasn't specifically put in for Saturday, because it's really avoid pushing, so we don't want to force creative energy, but this is again another day highly highly supporting this creativeness, especially if it's around doing what your heart's purpose is, your soul's purpose. There's that spiritual aspect behind it. And if it's something you're really meant to do, inspired to do, you know, that your divine guides, God, consciousness wants you to do, it's going to be super supportive, especially this week. So we have creative endeavors, and these events are definitely supported this week, and it wants to remember, do not forget it, because this will help you make it through this time. So if you have anything else and you're not sure what else to do when you're keeping your energy low, you're not pushing through, you've done a little bit of meditating, you've done some inwards, what do you do for the day? Go back to your creative endeavor. Whatever it is that you're creating, that is highly supported and continued to be supported from the week. Okay, let's finish up to where we'll meet next week, next Sunday, which is the 21st, which is the solar eclipse in new moon in Virgo. And we have that this is for the collective, a major karmic reset. The sun moon opposes Saturn, which is about accountability, it is about responsibility, and it is karmic rebalancing. So relationships and communication are in the spotlight when we come into Sunday. So intense karmic reset, revelations, responsibility, relationship truths. Like, again, this is again a day, avoid conflicts, use meditation and renewal. It's again, keep it down low. It's a deep reset day because that is the eclipse. Revelations, karmic turning point. Again, another lay low, stay inward type of day. So really, we'll get like 20th, 21st. If you don't have to do anything, keep it to the creative endeavors that you would like to put your energy in for the increased energy cycle that is coming. And that is the best recommendation and advice based on the charts and for the collective. Now, of course, as I mentioned, get your own personalized reading, and I can definitely help guide you in the more specific way. But let's find out the message from the divine from our oracle cards or our guidance cards, whatever you'd like to call them, and the message for when we meet again next Sunday. Intention behind a mask. That is interesting because this one is about revelations, karmic turning point. So I think that we're going to definitely see that there is something, whether it's on a whole for us or whether it's only in our own personal lives, might be both, that we are seeing things that didn't, it's very much like that kind of the idea of the all that shines isn't gold idea that we've pulled before, but it's like behind the mask, what is really the truth? Because really the truth is she's probably very beautiful, but then maybe what if she's not once the mask is removed, right? What if it's something completely unseen? And that's the energy, is that revelations coming out, whether it's in our personal life or on the collective. It's very much a collective revealing, a mask being released on the collective, right? So that's just that reminder that behind the mask, we don't necessarily know, but we're going to start to peek behind there and get a little bit more of that karmic turning point, because when those revelations come and we see more behind that mask, that's all going to start to change, that we come through this karmic turning point as we talked about. So that is our week until we meet again. So if you haven't, do subscribe so you can stay up to date. I always put them here on YouTube. I put them out a few days for sure. I try to schedule the next one within a day or two after I go live. So we will meet again Sunday. It'll be again 11:11. I like that time. So join me 11:11 Eastern next week, and we will look at that week going forward. Oh, hello, Jake. Dubai. I was in Dubai. I did travel, and now I am back in North America. I'm actually on the East Coast of the US, and then I have to head to Canada. We just move. We just wander around. So if there is any questions before we leave, I will take any personal questions. So if you have one you'd like to share, put it in the comments and I will pull a card. I won't do a reading because I don't want your personalized details of your birthday. But if you would like a card pulled and have a question, you can ask right now. And I will just, again, go over what the energy is of this week. So the energy of this week, again, is we really have a lot of creativity. That card even pulled up as we go through later the week as a way to handle the energy as we go forward. But creativity is very much supported, especially the 16th, 17th. Then it's a lot of karmic and relationship things that come up midweek, the 19th to like 21st. And then collectively, it's a lay low energy as we hit the eclipse, the 20th and 21st. So just kind of be mindful, be extra diligent. Like if you do need to travel, my guidance is make sure you check your tires, your air pressure, your gas, anything that, you know, you can kind of check. Obviously, there's only so many things you can possibly do. There's unforeseen things that can happen. But, you know, be extra diligent with whatever you decide to do, because it is really that energy to keep yourself and that energy lower. And if you are looking for a mantra, if you're going through this week and something's coming up, a very simple mantra, because that aligns with our energy for this week, is I release, I renew, I trust. I release, I renew, I trust. I release, I renew, I trust. And this is definitely the time where we have to pull in a lot of that internal trust that the things that we see are happening for reasons that we may not understand, but are happening to assist us going forward, so humans can be sovereign, free beings. So on that note, I know I've left it open. I'll leave it open for another moment here. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome to ask. I will pull one final card for everybody that is watching, what the message is for you, whether you're watching live or for anybody watching after. Thank you so much. This is your message. So what message do the divine, compassionate guides have for us overall, for those that are here present and part of this, whether it's live or recorded, this video? Events, conflict. So just a reminder, we're going to see some events, we're going to see some conflict, and it is about us. I feel like we are these waves. We got to, or the boat riding the waves. We got to find the way to ride through the conflict, because this does come up, and obviously he really wants to highlight this for us watching it and being part of this live right now. Is we have avoid drama today for Sunday. Monday was not a good place for work time battles. We get, again, later in the week, by the time we get to like Thursday, again, not good for business deals. So there's a lot of that. New commitments, not good on the Friday. Really, there's going to be a lot of conflicts we're going to see. So it's going to be about, very much, I feel like, the card we pulled earlier, which was about like standing our inner ground, the one where it was the courage. There we go. The courage. That was the card we pulled. So the courage is going to assist us through this conflict. And so the more we have the courage that, you know what, we're prepared for these things that are going to happen. We know they're going to happen. We don't maybe necessarily know what they're going to look like. And again, we can definitely drill more into that with your own soul map chart. Check out my website to book your own appointment. But we at least know that this is the overwhelming theme. So as we see it through our lives in the next few days, we can go, okay, yes, we've got to be courageous. We got to stand our ground. There is the light at the end of the tunnel. We just got to make it through this wavy, choppy water, and we're going to be fine. We are. Every single one of you is going to be fine. This is just that reminder. This is that time, and you're not losing your mind. You've got a lot of courage. So on that note, we've made it, we're just almost 35 minutes. So I thank you so much for those that have joined me the whole way. And if you have joined me partway through, thank you again. And I will be back next Sunday, maybe before that. But I will be traveling quite a bit in the next few days. So for sure, I'll be back for Sunday. And until then, you guys have a beautiful, beautiful week. And if you do want your own chart read, please go to my website. The link, it was pinned earlier. It was one of the first comments here, breathewithinyoga.com under Soul Map, and I'd be happy to give you a little bit more guidance. Until next week, have a beautiful, beautiful week, and ride your boat. Keep your boat steady and keep your courage strong. Thank you so much.